What is the role of perfectionism in language learning? That's my subject today, and I'm going to look at it from 4 different points of view. Why should we pursue perfection? Where is it more important to pursue perfection? When, at which stage of our language learning should we pursue improvement or perfection? And fourth, how do we go? In which manner do we pursue perfection? If you think about it, perfection is something that everybody wants to reach in their own field. And this is because we were taught so when we were small. When we were at school, our teachers and professors would encourage us to do a test without any mistake. This practice of pursuing perfection sometimes even makes us anxious because we are always like, oh, I'm not good enough. However, pursuing perfection is not 100% toxic. The desire of constantly improving is something that gives us motivation when it comes to language learning. I'm so sure that each one of you guys has already started a language in the past and then you guys gave up because you didn't see any result. You wanted everything perfect right away. You wanted to speak it right away, but you were not able. You were very impatient. Now, when you study a language for 6 months, 8 months, 1 year, 2 years, and you are still not able to speak it, it's not because of you, it's not your fault. It's about the methods that you are using. So sometimes you might be like, oh, I will speak the language once I will feel ready because you're chasing perfection. But actually, you shouldn't do like this. You should start speaking from day one. This is why people who are a little bit more adventurous, they will not think about making mistake. They will be like, okay, I will make a mistake, I will be happy about it, but I will speak anyways. And these people who are more adventurous, they are going to have success much faster than those people who are not going to try because they are still waiting for the perfect moment for starting. In fact, they take language learning as a funny process, something very enjoyable. Now, the reality is that even native speakers make mistakes in their own language. Before starting recording this video, I was thinking about my classmate in high school. So, as you might already know, I'm from Italy, and Italian is a very difficult language when it comes to grammar. So, when I was in elementary school, I mastered all the grammar well, and when I was in middle school and high school, I would write thesis without any problem, and my grammar was perfect. But I still remember how my professor offended and insulted my classmate. I think I was like 18 years old, so we were already in the last year of our high school. And my professor insulted my classmate because he took 3 out of 10 in the thesis. Why did he took 3 out of 10? Because his grammar was basically all wrong. Yes, this is how much Italian grammar is difficult. But of course, it's not impossible. And I'm so sure that if you think about it, you will suddenly remember about that time where you heard your friend, who's a native speaker in his language, making mistakes. So now we come to the second part of this video where I tell you where you should seek perfectionism in language learning. Many people seem to be concerned about reaching perfection in their pronunciation. Now I will tell you something. There is a very low likelihood that language learners are going to reach perfection in the pronunciation. Why is it? Because pronunciation is something very difficult for us to master. So if we master it at a very good level, it's already enough. But of course, it's not impossible. In fact, I have seen so many videos from people who live in the States, like Marina Mogilko. I don't know if you know her. She is a Russian and she speaks very good English. She speaks almost like a native, and you cannot even tell that she's not a native. So yes, it's very difficult, but at the same time, it's not impossible. But I can tell you that pronunciation is not what you should seek perfection in. Instead, you should check your spelling. Now, why am I telling you this? Well, of course, because when you're writing down something, let's say you have to write down a document, or maybe you have to write an email, or maybe you are working in a company and you have to write something formal, you will need a very good writing in your target language. And now you might tell me, oh Alessia, but I have AI. Yes, you're right, you have AI. But if you want to get really serious in that language, if you actually want to smash it, then you have to get good at writing in that language. And that is going to be useful much more than having a perfect pronunciation. The third part of this video is when should we seek for perfection in language learning? Well, if you think about it, if you learn something in the wrong way, and then let's say you repeat this mistake for 1 year, and after 1 year you're going to be like, oh, but like I keep making this mistake, I should actually say this the right way, then it's going to be very difficult for you. Why? Because you have built an habit making the same mistake again and again, and your brain already knows that that thing should be said in that way. However, at the same time, when you're just starting learning a language, you cannot put too much pressure on yourself. Otherwise, it's going to be very easy for you to give up. Because if you put too much pressure on yourself, you're going to achieve things like very slowly, and it's going to be a nightmare for you to actually reach finally fluency. So in order to do not delay your progress, I would say keep chasing perfection only once you are already intermediate in the language, once you can already speak it. At the beginning, try not to put too much pressure on yourself. Also, because I believe that mistakes are essential. You have to make mistakes in order to reach perfection. The more you fail forward, the more you improve. Because if you're making mistakes, it means you're practicing. So, how do we continue improving? I believe that fluency is not being perfect. Fluency means being understood, conveying the message to the other person without freezing. Fluency means using circumlocution. Now, if you have never heard of this word, circumlocution means to find another way of saying that word. So let's say you don't remember a word in English. You are going to use other words in order to describe what you want to say. This is fluency, when you don't know that word but still you manage to convey your message. So yes, confidence and flow matter more than grammar perfection. It's obvious that it takes time in order to learn a language. So what I would suggest you is to actually keep going, don't give up, and watch this video if you want to know 37 tips and methods to learn any language that you want. You can choose 5 of them and then you can start learning your target language at home. And I'll see you there. Bye bye!